So, around 2017, it was announced that a remake of Pet Sematary, my favorite Stephen King book, was in the works and is set to be released April of 2019. But how it will turn out? Well, that's what we're going to discuss. First of all, a remake of this film is a pretty good idea because, personally, the original film, while I could watch, followed the book a little too much to the point where I could almost predict what was going to happen in each scene. You don't want to do that, because if you do, fans of the book will be scratching their heads wondering, well, what's the point in seeing it if I already know what will happen? That is one of the reasons why the It reboot did so well, because while it followed the plot and concept pretty well, it still put in its own little twists, such as the painting lady and Georgie getting pulled into the sewer. That is so that readers of the book would keep interest and wonder where the director will take them next. Also, the directors of this film plan to make this one of the scariest Stephen King adaptations. Well, if they want to do that, then I strongly recommend putting in the Wendigo, the creature that stalked Lewis when he was hiking his way to the cursed burial ground, which in my opinion was one of the most frightening scenes in the book. Also, once Gage returns from the dead, make it somewhat evident that whatever is controlling his corpse isn't human, because that was another scary concept of the book dealt with. How Gage went from a sweet and peachy little boy to a murderous, bloodthirsty monster. After all, in the words of Judge Crandall, it may look like that person, but it ain't that person. For more creepiness points, you could have Zombie Gage reveal to either Lewis or Judd that he knows of some dark secret about them that they wanted to keep under wraps. This will show that the monstrous force controlling the corpse doesn't just blindly kill people, but also how powerful and truly evil it is. Now, as for the Micmac burial ground, I think if the directors make it seem cut off from the rest of the world, that could add more creepiness points, because it's that place that causes all the hell in the book. So why shouldn't they go out of their way to make it otherworldly and eerie? Of course, you can't just focus on the horror. You also have to focus on the characters, because a lot of the horror revolves around the dark theme of losing your own child. Perhaps a scene in the film that shows Gage being introduced to his parents for the first time on the day of his birth, because that has to be one of the most magical moments of any parent's life. And call me crazy, but it might also be best to have one of the parents getting frustrated with all the work they have to do, but still have scenes showing the parents interacting with Gage and Ellie, and showing them love. This will show that the Creeds have an unconditional love for their children. It is also why the bond between the parents and the children works a little better in the book and made the scene where Gage is killed even more devastating. In the original film, there was a ton of sweet moments, which is nice, but it got a little too sweet to the point where it became almost cheesy. Now, the only thing I'm really concerned about with is how quickly the remake is coming out. And since filming recently began, that gives the directors barely even a year to get this project done. On the bright side, the directors seem to have a lot of experience when it comes to horror, so I'm not too concerned. Overall, I am very excited for this remake and very eager to see it once it comes out. After this video, I might just start counting down the days to the release date. Pet Sematary is set to be released April 5th, 2019.